paths. All right, thank you very much for that. So if it's already on the legacy path, you are still able to access and still continue the way you were able to access the path before the updates, right? So you can still access it and do everything. But what I'm just saying is that if you're going to select a new path, you won't be seeing any of these options there anymore. Effective coaching is no more there. Innovative plan is no more there. Leadership development is no more there. Strategic relationships is no more there. Then team collaboration, all these are no more there. And that's 5. They're no more there. So it has been shrunk from 11 paths to 6 paths. Okay, that's that. Now let's go to the Basecamp and see the changes on the Basecamp. So you go here, go back to my home. All right, you go to Basecamp. Okay. And let's look at the path first. So let's look at presentation mastery. So this user or this member is on the presentation mastery, and that's why it's there. You see, it's in progress. So he was already on this path before the Basecamp upgrade. So it's still there. So if you're on any path, either you're on 2 or 3 paths, you're going to see all the paths you are on this page. And if you register for any other paths too, they're going to be on this page. So he is on the presentation mastery path. So I'm going to click on it. Just to show you the interface now, how it looks compared to the past. And you see, it's slightly different. Even though now the thing is that if you are on any of the legacy paths like innovative planning, leadership development, now one of the changes that we've communicated that Toastmasters International have done, so when it comes to the Basecamp, is that now you are able to access your Basecamp even on your phone because it's become more user friendly. But even at that, so if you're on any of the legacy paths, it's still difficult to access this part, right? Your projects and all on your mobile phone or on, let's say, devices that are not, they don't fulfill the requirements, right, for the legacy path. So what I would just advise is that if you're on parts like the innovative planning, leadership development, any of the 5 parts, try as much as possible to access these parts on a laptop or a desktop on a computer. But if you are on any of the new paths, then of course, any mobile device you use, any device you use, you will be able to access your project. It's quite user-friendly. Okay. Now, one of the changes you'll notice when it comes to the paths, right, on the Basecamp is that now when you want to submit your project, you can actually select the club you want to submit the project for. Now, like most of us, not most of us, but many people, especially be a leader, you belong to 1 or 2 clubs. So you belong to 1 or 2 clubs. You're trying to, you want a project or you want a level completion, an award for a level completion to go to a certain club. In the past, there is little control you have over that. But today, you can select the club that you want the award to go to. So for instance, this member belongs to only 1 club, and that's why you can see Phoenix there. So let's say you belong to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 clubs. You're going to see the list of the clubs here. Isn't that beautiful? I believe those must attention deserve a round of applause for that. So you can select the club you want to submit. You want to give that level completion, right? You want them to be awarded that level completion. You can select that. So that's one beautiful thing. The other changes there. Here you can see the project, right? Let's say the electives selection. You can see it's more intuitive. It's different. So the layout wasn't like this in the past. It was listed. Now you can see it's on the full scope of the project on each level. So here you can select any of the projects. Now let's look at this. So this is already in progress. Let's look at diverse speeches. Close. So let's click on this. Okay, 1 second. All right, so this is for submission. So, okay, this is for submission. Now, because it has not been completed, so you can click on it to submit. But there's something I'm looking for here. Just give me a second. Are you with me? Let me see what's happening in the chat box here. At the epistemic level, what are the updates and innovations made by Toastmasters to make sure that the remaining modules keep the benefits of the cancelled path? And that's a very beautiful question. Toastmaster Bell. Okay, I'm going to come to that. And let's look at this. These are already completed. Well, there's something I want to show you. Any person speaking. Okay. Now, if you notice that, okay, just give me a second. Now, the more you interact with each project, right, the more you get to understand the tiny changes that have been made to the project. Now, the goal, and I think this is just going to answer in part the question that Toastmaster Bear asks, is that the goal is just to make it intuitive, right? So, one of the things that I noticed in the past is that the Basecamp had a lot of functionalities, but because of the way the Basecamp was designed, the user was not really put in mind. And many of these features, for instance, submitting projects, asking for feedback, submitting the roles like Toastmaster of the Day, Akanta, amongst others, there were no places to put or to record many of these things. Or we're not even actually using these things very well because they were not user friendly. So these are the changes that have been made at the higher level. But I'm going to talk more about that in a bit. So let me just walk you through the end of the project here. So you can see it's still similar, right, to the past. Just the difference is just the way the layout. And again, like I said, now you can select which club you want to submit a project for. Okay, let's leave this place so that we don't lose our time here. Let's go to the meat of the matter. Dashboard. Now, let's look at this. These are some things that you may want to work with or may not want to work with. So here you can click on achievement. Now you can look at the achievement of end, available to end. See it's available to end, feedback batches, speech log, nothing here. So nothing showing for him here because he has something here. Now, you can now click on this. Now, we've done this in the past. So for instance, now you can share your badges. I believe that this is become more socially integrated. Now, if you want to share some of the achievements even within the organization outside, on social media. Now, right now, we only have the option of LinkedIn and Facebook. Some people have said in the past that why don't we have it on let's say WhatsApp or on your WhatsApp status or email, whatever it is. And the link is going to lead to your badge, any of the badge, right? Any of the badges. So that's that. That's one of the features. That's sharing your level completions, your awards. And beyond level completion, it could be level completion, it could be path completion. So for instance, let's say you just completed the presentation mastery path. You can share it on, let's say, LinkedIn or Facebook. I just copied the link. Let me show you what the link's going to lead me to. That's the link. 1 second. So this is a link. So leads to this. It says, so you can copy the link and share it outside LinkedIn or Facebook. Now let's go to this. This is where I'm quite interested in this. Now, like I said, in the previous Basecamp, what we had, the old Basecamp, we were not making use of many of the features. And one of the features we're not using a lot would be the feedback feature. Now you can request for feedback from your club members. So what you can look at is, let's look at, so there are 2 options there. So let's say 4 options. So you can request feedback as a member. You can also request for feedback. Let's say you've delivered a speech or you presented a speech in your club and you want to be evaluated. You can accept members to evaluate. Have the record on your camp. Let's look at it. So member feedback. So you can give feedback. So for instance, I'm using the profile of a club officer. So he is in the right position to offer feedback to a club member. I need someone needs to mute their mic. Okay. So he's in the position to offer feedback to any of the club members. So he belongs to a club. There's one club, Phoenix Toastmasters Club, and he can select any of the members. So we have Safri, we have Dania, we have Sefia, Danga, Kalechi, Jude. So these are club members of Phoenix Toastmasters Club. So he can select any of the members, let's say Jude, and then provide feedback. Right, provide feedback here. Then add a batch. Actually, you can also add a batch. So you can say, by the way, anyone can offer the feedback. Just that to emphasize that anyone can offer feedback. So you can choose any of the badges. You can choose collaborative. You can select, make it visible to all club members or visible to selected members only, then post feedback. So that's a beautiful update on the Basecamp. Another thing you can do is that, for instance, as you grow within the club, you want to understand, you want to get feedback on your growth. You want to get feedback on how you're performing, whether as a club officer or even as a member on your project and all, you can request for feedback, right? You can select a member. Let's want to get feedback from, let's say, Amina. Select Amina. I can select more than one member if I want to get as many feedback reports as possible. Can select Amina, Aisha, Jude, Kelechi, and as I say, I would like to get feedback on my recent speech. I'd like to get feedback on my performance as a vice president education of the club. I'd like to get feedback on how I engage with other members. I'd like to get feedback on my networking skills. I want to get feedback on as many things you want to add there. Just it's up to you to decide what kind of feedback you want to get and just try and be as specific as possible. And here, like I said, the visibility is up to you. You want it to be visible to all club members so you can see the kind of feedback you're getting, or do you want it to be visible to selected members? As we put this, then only these members who have given the feedback will be the one to see the feedback too. So that is just one of the updates on the Basecamp. And then let's look at this one, which is another thing you would be interested in, the evaluation feedback. Okay, now evaluation feedback. So there are many ways to look at this, and so let's read this very well because this is where we get wrong. Look at this. So complete and send a digital evaluation form to your says give me a second. All right. It says complete and send a digital evaluation form to your assigned speaker used during your club meeting. Use this account to access the form. So you want to access the form, you click on this. Now, okay, another thing I just have to chip in right here is that in the new Basecamp, for the new parts, not on the old parts, all level 1 speeches are the same across all parts. So across all parts, presentation mastery, dynamic leadership, amongst and others, the level 1 speeches, there's icebreaker, level 1, level 2, level 3. Sorry, level icebreaker, period 1, level 1, period 1, level 1, period 2, level 1, period 3. All the speeches, all these projects, they're the same across all paths, right? So what you can do is, if you want to, let's say you're delivering an icebreaker speech, or one of the club members deliver an icebreaker speech, you can actually come here and download any of these evaluation resources. So let's go back here. Now, let's say the member wants to get feedback on their icebreaker speech. So the person has to come to this place. Look at this icon that has this pen. You click on it. So you select this. So enter the speech title. So just like normally, most of our clubs, we have these tiny papers that will pass around in the meeting. The club members evaluate the speaker, and when you have a speech evaluator, the person ideally should have your physical evaluation form, which they fill manually with a pen and share with you at the end of the meeting. So what you cannot do this time around with the new Basecamp upgrade is that you can get a digital copy of your evaluation results. And the beauty of it is that 1 year, 2 years, 3 years down the line, you can always review the evaluation report you got 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. It's something that's actually good because it helps you to measure the growth, your growth when it comes to your presentation or evaluation or whatever skills you are trying to build the Toastmaster. So you can enter your speech title. I don't know what your speech title is, then set the club. Like I said, if you belong to 1 or 2 clubs, you can see the list. You can see the list there because he belongs to 1 club. So he has Phoenix Toastmasters Club, has the club there. So select Phoenix. Then select the member who evaluated you. Let's say it's Fatima. This is Fatima. Then select the dates. You can write it, you can click here to select the date. So let's say 7th. And click continue. So now you can see. Now he can evaluate, right? You can see. Now you notice that now you get to see, get to apply all these things, right? Book of variety. So you can select any of these options. Eye contact, gestures, comments. So it gives a very comprehensive feedback, right? Comprehensive evaluation of speeches. So let's quickly move on because of time. Sorry, I skipped something there. So you can request feedback, you can give feedback, evaluation feedback too. You can request and you can also give. Now let's go to resources. Let's click on my documents. So you can upload documents here. So for things that you do, we all do a lot of things, work, Toastmasters family and all. Now for things that are related to Toastmasters, you may want to just put them. I know many people actually use Google Drives to save their files, which is actually quite impressive. But another thing you can do is that you can have them saved on your Basecamp. So what you can do is just upload file. So any file you want to upload there, you can just select anything that has to do with your Toastmasters experience or input your Toastmasters journey, you can select and input there. So that's that. And that's how you're able to keep as you're able to store your documents and your resources when it comes to your Toastmasters journey. Okay, so that's that for the member. Now let's switch to the Basecamp manager. Now this is Basecamp manager. Can you see my cursor here? The Basecamp manager. Now the beauty of that is that in the past, it's not as intuitive as is in the past. You have to leave this page. You have to go back like 3, 4, 5 steps back for you to select the Basecamp manager tab for you to be able to access the Basecamp as a manager. Now today, right now, you can, from your own dashboard, which is your personal dashboard, you can access the Basecamp manager. And the question now becomes, or the question now is this: who can access the Basecamp as a manager? Now, in the past, only 3 people could access that. Only 3 club officers: the club president, the club vice president education, as well as the club secretary. I believe those are 3 set of people. There are 3 people who can access the Basecamp as a manager. Now, today, if you're a club officer, you can access the Basecamp as a manager. So whether you're vice president public relations or you're the treasurer or you're the sergeant at arms, whatever it is, as long as your name's on the dashboard as a club officer, you can see this option and approve level and part completions. So let's look at what the experience is like as a Basecamp manager. Are we good? I'll link some emojis on the chat box. Let's just be sure we're on the same page. You know, the way the internet works, sometimes you're just flying, but you're the only one in the room. I just want to be sure that there are other people in the room. Right now, all I can see is what I'm doing. So can I see some emojis in the chat so I can know that this class is engaging? I will soon be done so I can answer your questions, because I believe that there might be other questions you have that I've not addressed. So let's do that. Okay. Now, so the first half of this presentation was about how you can access, is about the overview of the user, of the member experience of the Basecamp. Right now, I'm going to be looking at the experience as a Basecamp manager. And like I said earlier, if you are a club officer, you are a Basecamp manager. In the past, you had to be either the president, the vice president education, or the secretary. But right now, if you're a club officer, you are a Basecamp manager. So let's look at this. Now, here you can see, and again, another thing I'm going to mention is that now the beauty, and many club presidents are going to like this, is that in the past you had two options for you to approve projects, for you to approve level completions. Now you have to use what we call the club central. You have to use the Basecamp manager, which is the updated one right now. You have to complete the completion. You have to approve on both aspects of the website, the club central as well as the Basecamp manager. But right now, there are no two steps when it comes to verification and accreditation of paths and level completions. All you have to do is just come to your Basecamp manager, and there are records for approval, pending approvals. All you have to do is just click on that and approve or decline. Just one single step, not two different steps. So I think that's another improvement that T has done it when it comes to the Basecamp manager dashboard. Now let's look at this. And this is an interesting what's called an interesting overview of your club members. You're able to see your club members, you get to see where they are. Usually in the past, you get to see this under the club central, and I believe it was not even as intuitive as this. So now you can see an overview, a broad high level overview of your club members, and you get to see where they are, the current credentials. This person's on presentation mastery level 2. Can you see that's why it's level 2? You see, this is level 2, right? PM2 level 2, IP3 level 3. So it's going to show any completed path that they've had, and when there was a last speech. Now this is good. No, when we do what we call the moments of truth in our clubs, one of the things we talk about is the calendar, the speaking calendar or something like that of that sort. You get to use that to many reasons. One of them is that you get to use that to motivate your club members. For instance, if someone's last speech was, I don't know, February 10th of February, right? February 10th, and this is November. See, they've not spoken for about, is it 8 or 7 months? Now you have enough data with you to approach them and say, hey, Toastmaster Kelechi, hey, Toastmaster Safia, you've not spoken for about 10 months. What's happening? We need to speak tomorrow. We need to speak next month. Now you have data for you to work with. You get to see your club members. For instance, most speeches are, okay, as members advance in their Toastmasters journey, realize that many of their speeches are not even delivered in your club. They're delivered outside the club. Yes, and sometimes outside the Toastmasters environment, depending on the peculiarities of that project. So here you can get to see the last time they delivered a speech. And you can use that information to follow up and encourage your members to deliver more speeches. Then you get to see paths in progress. All this were under the club central in the past, but now it's not on one central dashboard that you can tweak and work with. Okay, it's loading. You can take some time. All right, while it loads, let me look at this one. Send activity. You get to see what's happening in the send activity. So in the past, last 60 days, so you can see, I believe the last 60 days didn't cover the last 60 days because of the update and everything. So let's just say the last 30 days. One of the club members, say Udanga Jarigbe, completed the pathway, okay, enrolled in a pathways mentor program. So this just gives you an overview. You get to see, okay, what's happening. So as the club president, I believe you're going to love this dashboard because you get to now go instead of you calling your VP, okay, what's happening? What's happening with my club members? What's happening when it comes to the education? On the DCP dashboard, I can't see any movement when it comes to our level completions, when it comes to our educational goals. Before you even get to say that, you can just come to this dashboard and get to have an overview of what's happening the past 30 days, get to see what parts they are in progress and many other things. They give you something to work with. So I just something to work with. I just believe that I think I just get into more of what we call the data-driven leadership. I believe that's one of the things that the Basecamp upgrade is all about. It's about enabling our ability to use data to lead more effectively. Now you can see that. Now you can see, so first look at these Toastmaster Kazim Sapiriu, who's on the presentation mastery path. You see he has completed level 1, level 2, but he hasn't done any of the level 3. And here you can see how many projects he has completed level 3. You see 0 of 3. And there's some levels that have like 5, 6, 7 projects because of the unlimited access to a lot of options when it comes to the electives. So you can see something like let's say 5 of 3, 4 of 3, 6 of 3. So, but basically, what is required of you to complete that level is 3. So if any member has completed 3 projects on this level, then they would get this check mark. So you don't have this check mark. All you have to do is just reach out to the member and ask them to submit the level completion. So you and so that they, right, and the club can get their credit. Okay, so I believe we're coming gradually towards the end of the training. But before I do that, let's look at something else. So here you can click on profile. So first thing, let's look at my clubs before I go back to the profile. So you can click on my clubs and see more information about the clubs you belong to. You can like to reiterate that this club member belongs to only one club. So that's why you really get to see one club there, Phoenix Toastmasters clubs. You get to see Phoenix there. But if it belongs to like 2 or 3 other clubs, you're going to see the list of the clubs here. Now, so 1 second. Now, the bit of it is that as a club member, many times you didn't get to know who our club members are. Now you get to have access to your club members. So you get to see who your club members are. Now you get to see, and if they've updated their profile pictures and everything, you get to see their pictures. So you can see the picture of Kazim Safri here. You can see the picture of Jude. And so you can even click on their profiles actually to get to know them more. So let's go on Jude's picture profile. Okay, so this is Jude. It's all right. So this has not edited his introduction, so don't have the introduction to Jude. You don't know his interest. His social media handles are not being included on the page, so don't have all this information there. So I did being as feed all this information, you get to see all these things. So that's it. So I'll advise you, now that you have access to this training, try and complete your profile. That's where you get to know your club members, get to know you more. Okay, you get to see his achievements. You get to see his achievements. You see dynamic leadership. You get to see all these things. And you can offer feedback and all. So this is his email. I'm supposed to show you his email. That is his email. All right. Okay, so let's go to this. You on your own, so you can click on your profile. 1 second. So you want to edit your profile. Just give me a second. Okay. Then you can edit that and you can edit your meeting rules. You can edit this on the actual Toastmasters website. So you see, you can see that this introduction and everything on the Toastmasters origin profile. So you can do that there. But yeah, you can edit your meeting rules and all. Okay. I think I would like to stop here so I can address the questions. So I can have like 5 to 10 minutes to address the questions. And I brushed through a lot of things. And because I brushed over, like I said, it's going to be an overview. So please, you want more detailed questions, detailed exploration, detailed overview, please don't hesitate to reach out to us as the Pathways Lab. Every Thursday, just come in, ask a question, then leave. It's not a presentation style session. It's more of Q&A, more of like a mechanic session where you come in and troubleshoot any issue you're having when it comes to the Pathways program. So come every Thursday, 8 p.m. GMT. So you're in Nigeria, that will be 9 p.m. GMT +1. In Nigeria, that'll be 9 p.m. WAT. So join us on Pathways Lab every Thursday. We'll be there. There are a lot of people on the call. We're going to assist you, help you with any issue you're having when it comes to the Pathways experience. Thank you very much, and I'd like to answer your questions now.
Thank you, DTM. Thank you for this this very, very instructive presentation. I will be kind to say that I didn't know all what I learned today. But before that, I will just go directly by telling you what I've learned directly from now. I've learned that the Basecamp has become more intuitive and user-friendly than before. And then there's this new feature, the feature of giving feedback, like giving feedback and requesting for feedback, which is like the one of the pillars of the Toastmasters method, because we can't really progress without any feedback. Equally learned that you can now navigate for those of us who are dual members belonging to many clubs. You can now navigate and having all the information of your progress in both clubs on the same dashboard, which is a very, very important feature. And then it makes life simple. I've equally learned that our pathway has been streamlined to six pathway right now. And then now finally, the Basecamp manager can now be accessed by all the club officers. This is just what I've learned for tonight, but there are many more features. And then I encourage all of you guys to go and explore. You know, you always learn. Knowledge is always meaningful when you get it by yourself. So you go, you navigate, you enter, you click on all the plugins, and then you will see what the Basecamp has for you. But now, before going further, I would like to give the opportunity to anyone who has a question to unmute himself and ask a question directly to the DTM. Adrian Bell, you had a question. Please, can you unmute yourself and ask your question directly? Okay, if no one has a question, then I will directly ask this question. This question comes from Toastmasters Safi. He wants to know where can he get the translation, that is from the Basecamp from English to French. Where can he get the translation? How can he do that? That's a question
Okay.
from Toastmasters Safi.
Oh, that's a good question, actually. Ideally, though, if you... Okay, let me just show you. But ideally, it's going to be in the language of your choice when you are choosing the Basecamp. Just give me 1 second. When you're choosing your path, rather, of Basecamp.
And while you are searching for that question, I want to ask a question. Like this is from Toastmasters Voila Serafin, which says how can we find the club coaching module in the Basecamp? Where can we find the club coaching module in the Basecamp? Because it used to be displayed elsewhere, and then he can't access it. If you can handle that question.
Okay. All right. So it's going to be... So you can search for it. You can search for it, one. And two is that, for instance, this profile I'm using for this showcase is already recommended for the user. So that is going to be recommended for you, especially if you met its requirements. For instance, you have been a club officer, I believe. You've already met the requirement. It means you have been at least, I think, 6 months to 1 year a Toastmaster. Then you've been a club officer. Then you can access the club coach module.
Okay, so it is not for those. Le DTM essaie d'expliquer que quand vous êtes un officier de club, la fonctionnalité du coaching de club est accessible. Et le voici, il est accessible tout effectivement au niveau d'où vous avez tous vos programmes en fait. So what the DTM was trying to explain is that most of the club officer management program is based or find where you have the other programs. So if without any further ado, DTM, I know this is a quest actually, because you have to take time and digest and search, open, look for things. So it is something that I will advise and encourage all of us to go to and to find for those new functionalities. It is discovery. You only know more about these innovations through personal research and discovery. So I would like to thank you, DTM. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your preparation. And then Without any transition, I would like to call on the next, yes, the next item of our meeting. You know, our traditional after work session is made up of a presentation and then a toast. We are in Toastmasters. We can't have a Toastmasters meeting without any toast. Et ce soir, le porteur de toast nous vient de la République du Bénin, bien évidemment. Il était le passe-président du Saphir Toastmasters Club de Cotonou. Présentement, il est le directeur du secteur 3 de la division A. Et il est également le champion de discours d'évaluation de la division A. Donc, j'aimerais que nous accueillions ici très chaleureusement le Toastmasters Marcel Victorino Kojo. S'il vous plaît, ouvrons nos micros, nos emojis pour accueillir le Toastmasters Marcel Victorino Kojo pour son toast. Je ne vous entends pas. Applaudissons, applaudissons. Je ne vois pas les... Commentez, applaudissons. Faisons du bruit pour le Toastmasters. Si notre Toastmasters n'est pas encore prêt, nous allons essayer de continuer. Comme je le disais, le Basecamp est je peux dire quoi, l'espace où nous, Toastmasters, nous, effectivement, nous voyons nos progrès et il y a cette faculté que le Basecamp garde les données. Ça nous permet d'avoir tous nos données sur place. Et je pense que chacun d'entre nous devra, à son temps voulu, bien vouloir aller pour comprendre, pour maîtriser ce Basecamp parce que c'est là que nous aurons tous nos évaluations, nos feedbacks, nos membres, etc. Et également, de Basecamp a cette nouvelle faculté, celle de pouvoir partager. Nous pouvons partager nos progressions avec des badges sur nos différents profils, que ce soit LinkedIn, Instagram, et cela rend encore le Toastmaster plus fun, comme on peut le dire. Comme on peut le dire. So, are you there? Toastmasters Kojo.
Allô, est-ce que vous m'entendez?
On te reçoit 5 sur 5. Vas-y.
D'accord. C'est bon maintenant?
Oui, mais on ne te voit pas. Si tu pouvais ouvrir ta... Voilà, merci, c'est bon.
D'accord. Je crois que j'ai un souci au niveau de l'autre connexion. Allô? C'est bon, vous m'entendez maintenant? Vous me recevez?
5 sur 5.
Merci beaucoup. Chers collègues Toastmasters, bonsoir. C'est un plaisir pour moi de participer à cette belle session. Selon un adage populaire, les arbres les plus vieux sont ceux qui résistent le plus au vent. Cette métaphore évoque l'idée de résistance au changement et la difficulté de s'y adapter. Le changement est donc le processus par lequel une situation, une condition, un état ou un ensemble de pratiques se modifie pour devenir quelque chose de différent. Il est souvent vu comme une source de progrès et de renouveau, mais il peut également être source d'incertitude et de résistance, car il remet en question les habitudes et le statu quo. Le changement est souvent indispensable pour s'adapter à un monde en constante évolution. Albert Einstein disait, la folie, c'est de faire toujours la même chose et de s'attendre à un résultat différent. Si nous aspirons à de meilleurs résultats, il est donc important que nous fassions les choses différemment. Réfléchir au changement démontre donc notre capacité de remise en cause et d'adaptation. L'exemple le plus actuel est la mise à jour du Basecamp, objet de notre Afterwork. Ce changement qui affecte nos habitudes de connexion et d'interaction avec la plateforme de Toastmasters international. Chers Toastmasters, il nous faut donc avoir le courage de penser au changement, de l'adopter et de s'y conformer. Accepter l'inévitabilité du changement, adopter une attitude ouverte et positive, avoir une bonne capacité d'analyse pour déceler les opportunités liées à ce changement sont quelques stratégies pour s'adapter au changement. Au final, nous n'avons donc pas grand-chose à y perdre en essayant. Chez nous en Afrique, ne dit-on pas que celui qui veut du miel doit avoir le courage d'affronter les abeilles? N'ayons donc pas peur du changement. Prenons le risque et avançons. Tout comme la rivière avance inévitablement vers la mer, la vie suit son cours et le changement fait partie de ce mouvement naturel. Je voudrais donc ce soir que nous puissions lever nos verres pour toutes ces personnes qui osent le changement et qui s'y adaptent. C'est cela même l'essence de la vie. Au changement, levons nos verres.
Au changement, levons nos verres. Au changement, levons nos verres.
Au changement, levons nos verres.
Merci, Toastmasters, Marcel, Victorino. Merci pour ce toast qui nous appelle à accepter le changement. Alors, sans transition, j'aimerais que nous allons directement dans les annonces. Mais avant les annonces, j'aimerais vous rappeler que nous avons les sessions de networking, de réseautage et les salles prévues à cet effet sont déjà ouvertes et disponibles. Donc, à la fin des annonces, vous pouvez rejoindre vos salles et commencer le networking. Vous savez, Toastmasters, c'est aussi ça, le networking. Alors, allons aux annonces du district 130. Et voilà, le district 130 vous invite à participer jeudi le 21 novembre 2024 à 19h GMT aux sessions de Leadership Institute, c'est-à-dire avec pour thème maîtriser l'art des conversations délicates avec son équipe. Like, the Leadership Institute is planning a training session on the theme Mastering the Art of Having Delicate Conversation with Your Team. This session will be moderated by Dr. Abayomi, DTM, by himself. And then this session is open to the club vice president of education, club president, area director, division director, and the senior cabinet members. Alors, j'aimerais que tout le monde puisse se rendre disponible pour assister à cette réunion. Alors, avons-nous d'autres annonces? Je me dis, OK, c'est tout pour les annonces du district 130. Ah, non, nous avons encore une seconde. Alors, le district 130 également nous invite à une session de formation du CJD qui se tiendra le 13 novembre. Également, nous avons aussi les sessions de formation réservées aux membres des relations publiques. OK. Comme je le disais, le 13 novembre, nous avons une session de formation effectivement, cet Internet nous joue des tours. Alors, comme je le disais plus tôt, une session de formation ouverte uniquement au VPRP à l'utilisation de l'outil Canva. Alors, ici, vous serez outillé dans l'art de la bonne présentation des flyers et dans l'outil qui est la vôtre pour la communication efficace de vos... Bon. Alors, nous allons au niveau de... C'est le temps de célébrer la division G. Voilà, la division G, donc du 4 au 9 novembre. Je pense que également, nous allons encore continuer cette semaine à célébrer la division G et leurs accomplissements et surtout le travail qu'ils font, ils font pour le bien-être de leurs membres. Alors, je pense que c'est vraiment tout pour les annonces cette fois-ci. Alors, j'aimerais avant cela, j'aimerais remercier le DTM d'Amilare et pour sa session de formation très instructive. Et j'aimerais aussi également remercier le TM, le Toastmasters Marcel Victorino Kojo pour son toast qui sied aussi constance. Alors, j'aimerais s'il vous plaît, vous demandez de bien vouloir rejoindre les sessions, les salles de networking. Vous savez, le Toastmasters, c'est aussi le networking. Donc, je pense que ces différentes salles sont déjà ouvertes. Ou bien, le Toastmasters, Zoom Masters, si vous pouvez venir nous donner des instructions, ça sera
Ok, les
très...
salles de réseautage sont ouvertes. Donc, vous pouvez le rejoindre en cliquant sur... Il y a 4 pointillés, 4 petites cases au niveau du coin supérieur gauche. Donc, vous pouvez cliquer là-dessus et vous allez voir les différentes salles.
Alors, il est temps pour nous de rejoindre nos salles, les différentes salles. Personnellement, moi, je serai dans la salle de marketing, marketing et vente, parce que c'est une salle très animée et enjouée. Rejoignons-nous dans les salles de networking.